Hello there. This is a brief description of the lighting rigs that are built. This is to support my solo performing, which I'm starting to do around pubs and clubs and weddings and such like. There are two T-bars in the setup, as can be seen. It's a symmetrical setup, and it consists of a combination of cheapo, cheerful LED par cans of two different types, DMX controlled, and some lighting dimmers that I picked off eBay. Got 3 of them for 50 quid, all of them faulty, which I repaired at component level. Each had 3 different faults. So there's one of them, that's 4 channel. That's driving 2 coloured halogens which shine into the audience on that side, and also this side 2 different colours equally there to make a nice 4 halogen coloured chase if required. You have 2 just nice cheap and cheerful 400 watt white halogens which are together on the same channel, which provide a nice bright flash symmetrically with the other side, just for impact, used very sparingly in the set. Shining into the performance area, which I've got this dummy here to use as an analogue for myself performing, with a beautiful Milton Jones inspired shirt there. You have 2 LED pars that provide colour onto the dummy. You have 2 LED pars there which illuminate the space behind, and it can make effective various colour chases and such like in combination together, even strobe effects, which are quite useful. And for the white light old school, there's a couple of 500 watt par cans there which the dimmer is driving. They're used only very sparingly on sort of quiet solos, you know. Yeah, so basically a nice 4-way extension there to make it all set up and ready. So basically when I take it out, all I've got to do is set this up on the stand, plug in an extension lead and a DMX cable. It's fairly compact. Also there's some motorised spider lights, cheap and cheerful, off eBay. A couple of those symmetrical, there's one either side. Yeah, so I mean that's that. At the foot of all this we have a nice cheap and cheerful smoke machine, which with LEDs on, which shine up onto the ceiling there, which work particularly effectively in collaboration with these pars which light up the back wall. That tend to work well together, and opposing these which light up the performer. Nice sort of battle damage on that one. Yeah, that tends to work. Also it illuminates any fog which comes up vertically. I have one of those either side. Obviously we're just in the spare bedroom here programming various sequences. Yes, we have here a dimmer which I acquired here, which is handy because it has the bulging, however you pronounce them, plugs which drive these lighting boxes at the back. Excuse this. They're just basically 8 colour spots per box, just in parallel, 4 channels, 4 lights in parallel on each. It's just 4 different colours. These go back a long way. I built these in my garage a long time ago, but they provide a good backdrop behind the performer, and they work quite nicely in tandem with these coloured halogens on either side here. You can get a nice sequence of chases incorporating that and these at different times. Seems to work very well, and it's worth having in the setup. The whole lot is controlled from this tablet here via a nice cheap DMX512 interface. I use this keyboard here for programming, you know, via USB MIDI. I've got a monitor here just as a secondary display, and I just use a piece of software called DMX Control 2, which is free open source. It has its bugs, its glitches. I've worked my way through, but overall it's a pretty versatile bit of software when you get the hang of using it. As I say, you can use the keyboard with the various control knobs, etc. as a control surface. It works very nicely. So there's a brief tour. This is the other dimmer, the third one, the problem child one, the one that keeps failing in different ways. I've got a particularly unpleasant problem at the moment on this one, whereby it is at low power levels. There's some kind of transient spike coupling from one channel to the gate of another. So I've tried various things, such as replacing the suppression capacitors, which are there in blue and down here, because they were showing that they're degraded. I've eliminated the problem to the high voltage side. Incidentally, everything on the low voltage side is working as it should be. The opto couplers are working correctly. So the problem is somewhere on this board here. Somehow there's some coupling from one of those inductors onto one of the tracks which go underneath. It's not a particularly well designed board, and I believe it's channel 2 which is flickering, only at low power levels though, so it is a transient getting through onto the gate of one of those triacs. Anyway, I've been fiddling around with that much. I managed to then snap the leads on one of the MT terminals on one of the triacs, which meant that the gate current the full current for the load tried to go through the gate, which burnt out one of these 1K resistors. So I've got to take it apart again and replace those. I've tried drilling out tracks and replace them with jumper wires in case there's some local insulation breakdown, because there seem to be a lot of tracks close together carrying mains voltage. Anyway, this is just a problem child one. I'm not using it right at the moment. I will get to the bottom of it, but this thing may end up as spares or repairs, because I know from experience fixing guitar amps, Marshall guitar amps, valve ones, that these green boards with heat and temperature, the insulation properties do have a habit of breaking down, and that's on the guitar amp cause thermal runaway on the output stage. Yeah, there's various ways around it. This may end up spares or repairs, you know, or when I get round to it I might just fix it. As you can see, I've sort of drilled, don't know if you can see, I've drilled through tracks there and put jumper wires on and such like. As I say, I got 3 of these for 50 quid. 2 of them are serviceable now. This one's the problem child one. Might end up just as spares. So that's a brief discussion about me rig so far. So I'm just in my spare bedroom here, just doing this for my own solo performances of my own sort of volition. I have some videos of it functioning and working to show you as well. So that's me, very very keen hobbyist, love doing this. One day would like to maybe get into this professionally if I can. Yeah, thanks for listening.